Hi guys, welcome back. So today I want to talk about what I've read so far this year. Basically, it's July, meaning half the year's over, which is crazy, but I don't want to think about it. You probably don't want to think about it, so we'll just brush right past that. I have read some books, 27 to be exact, and I want to talk about them. I've written down some of the questions that all the people usually talk about when they talk about what they've read in the middle of the year. I think we can just get right into it. You can see I've got like all of the books right here. We can just start with the best book I've read so far this year. And it was a very easy choice. It was, I've got two. I've got two books. The first one being Jade City by Fonda Lee. If you've seen my Reading Fantasy for a Week video, you will know this. This was everything to me, and it still is. I love this book. It was so good. Like, I don't think I've ever been as like captivated and eager to read a book. I mean, I definitely have, like, let's not lie, I have, but this was so good. We follow the Carroll family, who is like this huge, powerful family, and you have Jade, which you can wear, and then it gives you these superhuman powers. You have this other family who are like their rivals, and basically there's just like an escalation of violence between these two families. So well written, loved the characters. It was also really fucking heartbreaking, okay? Yeah, we'll get to that later. But I love this, and if you love something super fast-paced and gripping, also really atmospheric, you will love this because it was so good. And the other book that was obviously has to be on here as one of the best books I've read so far is The Poet Empress by Chantal. My god, actually thinking about this book like feels so crazy. This was just a masterpiece. It was so good. It was so incredible. Okay, so basically we follow Wei, who comes from a very poor and rural area, and when the opportunity presents itself, she becomes a concubine for the prince. And obviously that's a really heavy premise for a book, and it stays heavy. Like, let me tell you, this is fucked at times and really heavy. It's definitely not a romantasy, which honestly I thought it was before, but it's not. But we follow Wei trying to just survive at this court. The ending was so crazy. If you have not read this yet and you want to pick it up, definitely check out the trigger warnings, because shit is heavy in here. Very, 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 very dark, very dark. The next question is the best sequel I've read, and surprise, I've only read one, so that was pretty easy to answer, and that is Dark Air by C.S. Packard. This is the sequel to Dark Rise by C.S. Packard, which I also read in the video where I read Jade City. We have this premise of good against evil. Basically, Will, our main character, is kind of thrown into this world, and you have like this huge like fight and I don't know, this battle coming up, and yeah, good against evil, and you have like these ancient artifacts and this ancient history that's really influential and important to the situation we're in here today. I really liked it. I gave the sequel 4 stars, and apparently it was really good. And yeah, no, I did remember a bit more about it. So I really like this as a sequel because it fleshed out the world quite a lot more, and the stakes are high. Like, the stakes are high. I just remembered how like fucked everything got at the end, and it's really oh my god. I did really like it. I think the romance, I'm very interested to see where it goes. Let's put it like that. But I am enjoying the romance quite a bit. This did just get me really excited about continuing the series. I don't even know when the third one comes out. I will need to check that. But I am really excited for the rest of it. So that was the one and only sequel that I've read so far, which is not okay. Because honestly, I have so many like series that I'm in the middle of and that I want to finish and continue. Next is a new release that I still haven't read, Girl, I have not read Yesteryear and I want to. This book has been everywhere. If you haven't heard of it, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Basically, Yesteryear, we follow this like trad wife influencer who presents herself as someone who does everything from scratch and like spends her time in the kitchen or in the house, like doing trad wife kind of stuff, which is crazy. But it says in the synopsis already that like behind the scenes there's like a whole camera team and staff and people who help her with all of that. So the premise is already really interesting, right? Because you have this like person that's deluding everybody on social media, as you do on social media, of course, but also in a really fucked way. But then she gets thrown into like the 19th century or something, I'm not even sure right now, and actually like has to live out the values and traditions that she was promoting in her videos, falsely, obviously. And that's just an incredible premise, I feel like. I think that book can just give you so much to, I don't know, think about, but also like, I don't know, analyze, I guess. Sounds just like an incredible book, incredibly important as well. So I really want to read that. And I still haven't, which is so sad. The next question is the most anticipated release for the rest of the year. You all know what's coming. And it has to be Deadbeat by Leigh Bardugo. Like anything by Leigh Bardugo, always. But yeah, Deadbeat is the third book in the Ninth House trilogy. And if you don't know, Ninth House is basically a book or a story about Alex Stern, an icon. If you know her, you know she's an icon. But what we follow is her coming to Yale. Basically, she's working for this organization called the Ninth House that is supervising the 8 secret societies of Yale. And these secret societies are like, they have like magical powers in a way. They do like all of these crazy rituals and sacrifices, and it's all very like elitist, and it's all very like how you would imagine secret societies of like this crazy powerful age-old institution like Yale to be. Like you have people cutting people open to read the future for other people in like the organs or something. A lot of the world's like elite comes from these societies or is in contact with them and everything, and that's crazy. And these societies, like, you know, people be entitled, so Ninth House is kind of there to see, like, to keep them in check. And then a murder takes place and Alex is like basically the only one who's like, what the fuck, something's not right here. And usually, I don't know, I don't necessarily read murder mysteries, but this is like murder mystery mixed with fantasy. It was so good. It was so fucking good. I don't know, I loved it. It's so atmospheric. I've really like gotten to appreciate the characters. I love Alex to death, and I think it's rare to find a main character that you adore so much. But I think she's incredible, and she definitely has her flaws, but it's not like I feel like she's just a very great main character. It gets dark, it gets heavy and dark. If you want to pick this up, definitely check trigger warnings, definitely, because Leigh Bardugo does not hold back in this one, let me tell you, at all. But yeah, the third book's coming out, and I remember reading the second book sometime last year and being devastated that I would have to wait until September, like absolutely devastated in a way I haven't been for a while. And so I'm really excited that it's finally almost time. Okay, biggest disappointment. I will speed through this now, honestly. Stop, like, I need to stop. My biggest disappointment is crazy. Okay, biggest disappointment. I did think this book was gonna be like a 5-star for me, and it wasn't. So that's why it's here. It was still a good book, but it just wasn't at all what I thought it would be like. And that is Before the Queen Falls Asleep by Husama Habayeb. It feels difficult to explain what was missing here for me, because basically we follow Jihad, who tells her daughter the story of the past of her own family, of her Palestinian family in exile in Kuwait, in Jordan, Dubai, and of her own life as well. I do think it was a very good book. I just think that the way it was structured did not work for me because it was very jumbled together. And I guess it makes sense because the book is a lot about how like their family lives together in close quarters and everything's a bit jumbled as well, and their life obviously is cut off into like different pieces due to them being in exile and having to flee and everything. So on like an analytic viewpoint, it makes sense for this book to have this kind of narrative structure. I just didn't enjoy reading it for that reason. It had some moments in here which were so crazily heartbreaking and heavy and just really impactful, and that definitely stayed with me. So as I said, I'm very glad to have read it. Also, another disappointment that I did have was The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillick, because everybody loved this book and I loved the atmosphere that it provoked. I just hated everything else. Sorry, I did not like the characters. The plot made no sense in my opinion. The love story was okay at best for me, and I know people love that story and that book and the romance, and I'm so glad, I'm so happy for you. I didn't. My biggest surprise, I would say I did read one arc this year, the only one I've ever read, which was Vale March, which I did enjoy, especially the first half of the book, and I was really surprised by that book how much I loved the writing style and the atmosphere that was created. It was like a gothic fantasy, and the first half was so incredible and really well done, and I really loved it, and I loved the atmosphere. Sadly, the second part did fall off for me quite a bit, because I felt like we kind of lost the plot in that one, but I didn't necessarily expect to love the first half so much as I did. And the second biggest surprise of this year was in Dark Rise, which I've talked about earlier already. The plot twist at the ending. Girl, if you've seen the video of me reading fantasy for a week, you can see the exact moment where I come to the plot twist and I lose it. I actually lose it completely. And it was so good. I enjoy a good plot twist, and sometimes I think I'm very good at seeing things coming. Sometimes maybe the most obvious shit will just get me, and I love it. So yeah, that was really good. My new favorite authors. Okay, we can do this quick. Fonda Lee for Jade City, obviously. Shen Tao for Poet Empress, absolutely incredible. And also L.M. Montgomery for Anne of Green Gables. Did I not absolutely adore this book? I love this so much. Perfect in every way, Anne of Green Gables is just whimsical. It's just whimsical, like basically injected into your veins. My new favorite fictional couple. I did like have to think about this for a while because I haven't read that many like couples that really got me this year so far. But of course, I mean, girl, Priory of the Orange Tree, Eden Sabran. I read this recently. I posted a whole like hour-long vlog of me reading this. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. Didn't love it as much as I thought, but I really enjoyed it. And Eden Sabran, they're just icons. Love them just so much. And this is like a high epic fantasy, and we follow all of these different kingdoms, all of these different characters from different kingdoms or queendoms, and you have dragons, and you have just intrigues, and you have like epic battles and everything, but also you have a sapphic love story, which is so nice. It was just a really beautiful story of these two. I just really adored them, and they were really cute, and I really loved it. Absolute baddies, those two. Love them. My favorite characters, my new favorite characters. Okay, firstly, Lan of Jade City. If you know, you know. He is actually my favorite. I think he's one of my favorites ever. Because I just love him so much. And I don't know, you have to have read the book to know him, but He's so great. I just want to hug him. And I love him so much. Also, of course, Wei, the Poet Empress, absolute icon, absolute icon. Of course, Anne of Green Gables, just talked about it. And I mean, she's so great. And then also Eid of Priory of the Orange Tree. So basically Lan, Wei, Eid, and Anne. All of them so great. A book that did make me cry was Jade City. And if you know, you know. Like, you know what I'm talking about. And thinking about it will make me tear up. So let's just keep on going. The most beautiful book I've bought it's quite interesting because I buy a lot of books usually. And I thought about it. And I can't remember a single book I've bought this year. Like actually, I find loads of books in like the free little libraries and everything, but otherwise, at least like not a book that I haven't read yet. So my favorite book, or the most beautiful one, is also The Poet Empress, because how gorgeous is this cover? I love it. Although the back is kind of ugly, but this love so much. And then for the last question, I have 2 books that I need to read for the rest of the year. Basically, I need to read quite a lot of books, but the 2 that I definitely 100% need to read is Jade War by Fonda Lee. Obviously, this is my July TBR. I will read this. I need to read this. I will hopefully start this very soon. And then also, that's gonna be fun. A Little Life. Girl, I have not read this. And I'm very scared too, because this shit is supposed to be the saddest book ever. And I've had this for like actually 5 years now on my shelf. And I did try to read this once, but then I just stopped like maybe 50 pages through. So I will read this year soon. That was just a little overview of my reading year so far. Has it been a good reading year? Like, the beginning of the year was great. It was so good. I was like on track with my reading goal. Then I did go traveling and everything. Didn't have time for reading. And then I came back and kind of fell off for a while. But I'm getting back into it, which is really nice. Making this video just made me realize that have definitely been some very, very good bangers, which I've enjoyed so much. And it did make me really excited to keep on reading everything else that I still want to read. I hope your reading year so far is going amazing. I hope books make you laugh and cry and feel every emotion ever, and that they're absolutely life-changing. And yeah, if you've read any of the books that I've talked about, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them, and I'll see you next time.